Welcome to the Guildford property market update for January 2020. At this time of the year that we look forward to changes for the better, and one way to instigate these changes is to create a new lifestyle for ourselves by moving home. It will therefore be interesting to see how the result of the general election and the exit from Europe will boost house sales. The latest property index from Rightmove forecasts a 2% rise for the UK in 2020, now that there is a little more certainty following the general election. Whether there is a pent-up demand for the last 3 years of uncertainty remains to be seen. This may not appear until the spring, when listings typically increase as the days become longer. They suggest that demand for property remains resilient, but understandably are worried about the lack of supply. The number of UK sales agreed so far in 2019 is down by just 3% on 2018, when the number of properties coming to the market was down by 8%. There are several factors to suggest that the market should pick up. Interest rates remain low, lenders are competing to lend, there is high employment, and wage growth is making housing a little more affordable. Rightmove report therefore expects the number of properties for sale will recover as more sales come to market to make up for some of last year's lost ground. However, lower stock levels are likely to place an upwards pressure on UK house prices. Another concern is that first-time buyers are still struggling to find a deposit to buy their first home. If they are unable to get a foot onto the first rung of the property ladder, this will hinder sales further up the property ladder. Solving this issue would help to limit rising rents and increase transactions in the housing market. The Guildford market. Property stock levels in Guildford have continued to fall, whatever the type of property or the number of bedrooms, by 19% compared to this time last year. There's been a slight increase in properties available for sale over the last month, possibly due to sellers knowing the result of the general election and therefore more confident that they will sell this year. A few properties that did not sell last year have been relisted in the past fortnight. If one were to look back at the year 2007, pre-credit crunch, the change in stock levels compared to then are even more significant. The time that vendors leave their properties on the market has increased, though it's interesting to note that property spending between 1 and 2 months on the market, whether they sell or not, has decreased. This might suggest one of two things. Either the vendor was curious to know whether their property might sell, and so was a speculative listing, or more importantly, they managed to sell. The average time taken to sell properties in Guildford over the last 90 days has been 155 days, although half the sales did sell within 78 days. Asking prices have continued to increase over the past month by between 1 and 2%, but have sales prices also increased? According to the latest data from Land Registry, available up until October 2019, over the last 12 months, there was a slight decrease of 1.4% of all properties in Guildford. Detached houses fell by 0.9%, semi-detached fell by 0.5%, terraced houses fell by 1.1%, and flats fell by 3.7%. This may be because agents have been overconfident in their original valuation, as suggested by a number of properties on the property portals that have been reduced in price, or have buyers just been good at negotiating prices down. This confirms again that prices can only be determined by what the market is prepared to spend. See you again soon for next month's property update, when we expect to see further certainty, assuming there's progress in the Brexit negotiations and an increase in property listings, now that owners have returned to normality after the festive season. To request a copy of the Rightmove Price Index report used in this update, please contact me on the details to follow. And if you've liked this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this post.